A menorah is perhaps the most popular symbols of Jewish ceremonial art. It is a 9-branched candle lit during the 8-day holiday of Hanukkah. The 9th holder, called the shamas, is a candle used to light all the other candles. Michael agreed to give us a demonstration in the making of his trademark menorah. Okay, Michael, so now we're here in your workshop, and you're working on a menorah that you refer to as the Walls of Jerusalem menorah, right? So now this is the first step in creating a bronze?
I'm using that design or as a model for my
So this
sculpture.
is the whole piece, pretty much you're sketching it out to a piece of plywood?
That's right. I'll start working. First I'm going to draw it out, and basically what I'm doing now is I'm drawing the
brick wall?
The stone
wall?
Stone wall.
Michael explains that the first stage is always the pencil sketch. Here, Michael sketches the outline on a plywood board. He divides the rectangular board into 3 parts and pencils in the walls of Jerusalem that will form the background of the menorah. So now what's the next step?
The next step is I'm going to start putting clay on the plywood, and that will become the model for the sculpture.
Clay is then used to fill in the empty spaces. This forms the base for a mold that will have hot rubber poured over it to make a cast. So now we've got our rough clay here. What's the next step? I guess we're using
the next step we start modeling these bricklets to look like stones in a wall. And we don't want them to look exactly the same. These stones are rough hewn.
Right.
And what we need to do is I'll use this to texture it a little bit.
Make them a little rough.
And make them a little rough, and also kind of flatten them out so that they will look like stones that were carved, but not perfectly.
Not uniform.
Right.
Here, Michael smoothens the clay with a tool that will give it a stone wall effect. Okay, so we just finished the clay stage. Now what's next?
Well, the next stage will be to make a rubber mold, and it will look exactly like this. This is silicone rubber. It's very flexible, and this is the piece that would come out. You cast, after I finish the mold, I'll cast wax into the mold, and it'll look like this, and then I can take out the wax and I have a replica of what I made.
Next, Michael makes a wax casting out of the rubber mold. This wax cast is then sent to the foundry, where a metal replica of the piece is made. So now we have it back here. You can see all of the beautiful work. Now, what is the next step?
Well, the next step is, first of all, I already drilled the holes where all the parts will fit in.
The tablets?
Right. And the tablets here, the lions here and here.
And you can see there's already spaces sort of
It's flattened out so that the lines will fit in there.
Right.
Now what I have to do, I have to clean this up and then fit it in. It will fit in right over here.
And then this is hollowed out back.
This is hollowed out back.
And we actually have the back wall as well with the feet.
That will go in the back, that screws in and closes up everything.
Wow.
But before that, we need to connect everything together.
All right, well, let's do it.
All right.
There are several pieces which make up Michael's trademark menorah. The patinaed stone walls, the inscribed brass tablets, the lions which flank the tablets, and the little brass stands which will hold the candles. Each of these parts will be further treated and perfected before being pieced together. After that, Michael pieces all the individual parts together, and voila, the menorah comes alive in front of our very eyes. Okay, Michael, so here we are at the finished Wall of Jerusalem menorah, and literally every piece is handmade by you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Starting with the walls that were cast and sent to the foundry, and then we have the tablets here. Can you tell me what they say? You actually did the writing and everything.
Well, that's in Hebrew, and that's basically the first word of each of the 10 Commandments.
Ah.
And there's a lot of no's there. This is the traditional shamash, they call it, and it's the one you light first, and then you use that to light the rest as you go along every day. One more.
I'm so happy to be a part of it.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. When Michael Shacham was a young soldier, overwhelmed with the pain and sorrow of war, he dove headlong into his art. Sketching, molding clay, and metal gave him a peace and joy that healed him deeply. It is this tenderness that is evident in all of his exquisite creations.